Hey guys, this is Sam, and this is After the Bars Late Night Mayhem. I am Sam. I'm doing something totally different tonight, guys. I'm working with a totally different system. It's probably sound echo, but I'm doing it this late so I can work out the kinks. Um, it's just something I wanted to do because it has more bells and whistles than the other stuff I was using. So, um, welcome to late night. We will get a little spicier here when we're working this late. I'm gonna kind of not hold back on the some of the language that I use. Not necessarily cursing, but just the content that we talk about will be a little bit different when it's this late at night. You guys all know I've covered Carmelo Anthony in the past, and he took out he's a black kid. He took out a white kid, and the only reason why I say that because there's a lot of race baiting going on out there, and I've done multiple shows on the race baiting, in this case, and some predictions that I've made, and that we just need to stay vigilant on to not participate in any of it. That's not what this show's about tonight. But the some of his actions have made it worse for him when he gets to prison, when he gets there with the prison gangs, especially the Texas prison gangs. He just asked the court for a free lawyer, or a public defender for a guy with 500,000. So tonight we're going to break down how this is even possible, why the court hasn't said no yet, and what the public and legal experts are saying about it. This one's probably going to fire you up a little bit if you're here with me. If not, I'm going to remix some long-form videos, and I will upload those probably tomorrow. So yeah, you know what time it is. This is the morning mayhem, the late night mayhem. We're working out more than technical kinks. We're working out mental kinks. I'll start from the spot. Good morning to the chaos we ride. So when I get texts my own ideas, wake up Sam, he's reborn again. One step forward from where he's been. Turn up the noise, flip the script today. Lights on Sam, we've got dues to pay. A world on fire, but the winds still blow. This is morning mayhem. Welcome to the show. Let me know if that helps you through it.
Welcome to the After the Bars podcast, and this is Late Night Mayhem with Sam Yarbrough.
Yeah, so that should help with the reverb. Let me know if that doesn't. I appreciate it. It's reverbing because my mic is picking up the sound of my speakers. So I turned down my speakers. Basically, I muted them. And so hopefully that should be better. Let me know if that doesn't, because like I said, we're working out some kinks. I'm using OBS now instead of StreamYard, because I want to do more things. There's so much more I can do with StreamYard. I haven't figured out how to show messages yet, but I'm working on it. I think there's a few things I can do, and I'm gonna get with Awakened, and she's gonna help me out with that. I do have a couple little things I want to try out, but other than that, I think it's gonna be a cleaner stream. I don't know how clear I am right now, but I think it's gonna be a lot clearer. I think I'm gonna have more freedom to do things that I've been wanting to do. I can do. No, Hazley did that. I totally forgot that I had this nail polish on right now. Holy shit. Cut. Oh, fuck, that's funny, man. I sound hollow. Okay, let me see, these are the things I need to work on, or not work on, but like address tonight. What I was gonna do was play it back later and see what it sounded like. So I'm gonna go into the EQ. Oh yeah, I bet you it sounded really hollow. I don't know if do I sound hollow or is it more like reverb? Oh, does it still sound like there's an echo? Ah, man. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna have to work on that, guys. If it's like too bad of an echo, let me know and I'll just end the stream and come back on StreamYard or something. But yeah, if it's unbearable, let me turn that down. How does that sound? Does that sound better? Give me just a 5x5 if that sounds better. A little 5x5. Yeah. Oh, I appreciate that, Robin. Yeah, I'm just seeing if we can get it to sound better. That's good. Okay, cool. So yeah, there's a desktop audio that's on here that really F's with it. So I wonder if I can turn my 2x4 left. Oh, perfect. I knew. God. I read the comment before I even looked to see who it was, and right when I got to 2x4, I knew it was Kim. Okay, cool. Yeah, all the night owls are going to be out tonight. Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to see who was going to come out and play tonight. This stream was supposed to happen like this afternoon, but because I had Hazley today, I gave her a spa day. You should have seen her. So we went and got a bunch of stuff, and you guys are gonna laugh. I know she looks crazy, but look, she's got a face mask on. She's got cucumbers in her eyes. I got her hand masks, and then I bought her a little. Well, we've had that foot thing, but I bought some Epsom salts and I put it in there. And then she said, "Dad, because you gave me a spa day, I'm gonna do because we got some extra hand things." So she did my hands, and then she said she wanted to paint my nails, so I let her paint my nails. I know. I'm sorry, man. I am from Hollywood, so it's not like it's my first time my nails have ever been painted. For real, it really is not the first time my nails have been painted. Yeah, we haven't been able to afford much to go out and do things. And Hobby Lobby, which is a great Christian organization, they have all those things for like $1. Like they had the face mask for $1.49. They had oh man, that is embarrassing. They had the face mask for $1.49. They had the Epsom salts are cheap at Albertsons or wherever you go get your groceries. It's super cheap. They had the hand masks for $2. Like we got all that stuff and the little candles for her to have. Like it was like $13 or $14. I couldn't believe it. So and she just loved it, and I've been promising her a spa day I'm gonna start crying. I've been promising her a spa day for a really long time, so I'm not gonna cry. I'm not. I can fight that kind of emotion down. Be more of that if you took her out and spent the money on something. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think she really appreciates it. Um, I wish there was a way. I'm gonna get with Misha from Awakened by the Looking Glass. I'm gonna get with her so I can, show comments at the bottom of the screen. During the lives. I figured out how to do a couple of other things, but I didn't figure out how to do that yet. So. So, anyways, basically, guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about Carmelo Anthony tonight. Um, so this fool is saying, this is the guy that unalived Austin Metcalf. This fool is saying that he needs more money. So been they've already received over $500,000. I think something like $600,000. That's after the fees for Gibbs and Go. They've received that money, and the grand jury came back with an indictment, and they said they needed money for a lawyer. And this is after they've rented that mansion, they've whatever else they did. How they spend it, that's on them. But what that tells me about if he's applying for an indigent lawyer, what that tells me is that his family isn't really giving a shit, two shits about him right now. I don't know if they've just didn't plan on it, or if having that much money all at once, is something new to them. I mean, that's something new to a lot of people. That'd be something new to me, but do you know what I mean? Like they received the money and they just like went crazy and just like, oh, this is great, and they're trying to show him a good time because they know he's going to prison. But the first thing I would have done, I would have taken $300,000 and retained a lawyer, and the lawyer probably would have said, no, just give me $30,000. Depending on who the lawyer is. But they didn't, and they had to apply for an indigent packet for a lawyer out of Texas. Now, I do cover a lot of Texas judges on my channel, Legal Livewire Court Watch. I cover a lot of judges from Texas, and those judges over there, they don't play, especially when it comes to getting a public defender. If you if you make $30,000 a year, they think you should be able to afford a lawyer. Now, this is a murder case, and that they would want you to make more money than that. But they're saying like, look, you're the one who committed the crime. You should have to pay for it. The good citizens of Texas shouldn't have to pay for your mistakes. I've heard multiple Texas judges say that, and that's nuts. Yeah, maybe he's poor, Kim, but they got over $500,000 in GoFundMe for the lawyer. It was for the lawyer, so they've already yeah. So you get it now. You get where I'm coming from now. Let's go to the chat. I'm just gonna say hi in the chat. What is nicer about this than StreamYard is that I can see everybody in one fell swoop. I don't have to, like, I could say, hey, what's up, Ned? Hey, Lynn. Hey, Kim. Hey, Robin. Hey, doing it Deb's way. Hey, Deb, it's really good to see you. It's really good to see everybody, but I haven't seen Deb in a long time. Who else is here? Ned and Coco. So and bam, there you go. I've seen everyone in the chat. I didn't have to scroll up, and I don't know. It's kind of nice. The charges are first-degree murder. I keep wanting to highlight the comment. Yeah, the charges are first-degree murder, and they're gonna beat that. I mean, they're gonna get that. They are not going to beat that. I don't care what lawyer he gets. He could get Johnny Cochran in his heyday, and he wouldn't be able to beat that case because the force returned to the level of force that was subscribed to him. And I know that's, you can use that word in that way. The it didn't match. Knife doesn't equal fist. So if I did a whole show on it, and I'm trying to remember what all I talked about in that show, so that's why I'm a little stuttery about it. But you guys get it, right? You got a kid saying, "Hey, you got to get out of here," and you got this kid saying, "No, stab, stab, stab." So it's obvious that they're not even going to come close to winning that. The kid didn't hit him. He threatened to pull something out of his backpack, and allegedly Austin Metcalf just grabbed his backpack because he thought maybe he had a gun or something. I don't know exactly. I don't know why those things underneath me are up there, because those are from like old. Those are from really old live streams that I did. I remember when Jimena sent me the 200 pesos. I was so excited. I didn't realize it was pesos. I thought it was $200. I was like, oh my God, that was so generous. And it was like $9. I mean, appreciated, but you know what I mean? I was like, oh my God, geez, man, you didn't have to do that. But yeah, those are from really old streams, so I don't know why that's up there. So I'm going to take that down. All right. So how is everybody, man? I was really just looking forward to coming out and hanging out. I did want to talk about this a little bit. I have a few news stories I can read. I even have a video I can play. But I'm just kind of like looking over in the chat to see what's going on. The amount of force used in self-defense should be... I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses. Committing... Yep, that's it. With the force being defended against. Yes, that's it exactly. Now I want to see if that... Yeah, see something. Thank you so much, Mindy, for the gift. Oh no, you've been a member for 3 months, and thank you for being a member. I really appreciate that. I was hoping that would come up on the screen. Like I said, I'm doing something new, and I was hoping. Oh yeah, there it did. It did come up. Mindy, member. That's awesome. Okay, cool. I'm glad that's working. This is a lot different than StreamYard. There's lots of things I have to do just to make one little thing work. It's not just press the button. But once I get all the kinks worked out with my skill as a graphic artist, I think it's going to be a much better show, and I'm going to be able to grow this channel and to grow our community a lot better. But thank you so much, Mindy, for being a detective of disorder on the After the Bars podcast. I really appreciate it. For your being a member for that long.
It's about as long as the channel's been alive. Um, so yep, I really appreciate it. How well do spoiled rich kids do in prison? See, that's really, 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 really what I wanted to talk about is what he has done to himself by his actions. So this kid, there's pictures of him out there throwing gang signs. He's doing this gang sign. Excuse the nail polish. It's the GBGs. There's a gay prison gang. And they're called the GBGs, the Gay Boy Gangsters. But that's not the prison sign he threw up. He threw up this sign, which is Insane Vice Lord. And Vice Lords are a pretty big gang. They're pretty serious. They're a black gang. There are some white members in the gang. They call them in. There's different names for the white gangs. Imperial gangsters. Well, now that's with the Gangster Disciples, which is the Vice Lord's arch nemesis. But the having said all that, he's not going to do well at all because he's going to get heart checked right away, and they're going to make him fight. And I, from what I've seen, the only fights he's gotten to, he's just been trying to be intimidating to other people to back him down, just to be like a bully. And none of that is going to fly. None of that is going to fly. Yeah. Oh, it does from the lighting, huh? That's crazy. Oh, there we go. Now there's a big contrast. Wonder why that lighting's so blue. Oh, I was going to tell Deb something. I got a really cool new Bible yesterday, Deb. Yeah, a really cool new Bible yesterday. I don't know if I'll use it because I really love, all my notes and study notes are in my other Bible, and I love, I know I'm just switching gears just for a second for doing it Deb's way, but I love listening to a sermon and they tell me to go to a chapter, and then I've already been there and there's tons of notes that I made and what I was thinking and how I was feeling. And now, because my Bible's a few years old now, that there's almost nowhere I can't turn and I can have notes waiting for me and highlights, and I don't know. Anyway, so I probably will never use that new Bible, but I really am stoked that I have it. I'm sorry. It's my daughter. My daughter did this. But anyway, he's in for a lot of trouble. The gangs down there are already waiting for him. The white gangs, the Aryan Brotherhood, the TABs, the Texas Aryan Brotherhood. They're already waiting for him. They've already declared that he's a marked man when he gets there, and I don't know why that is, because I'm not involved in those politics down there. But if they're declaring it, then they're gonna get him. They're gonna get him. And hey, Tiff 420, good to see you. Yeah, my that's coming back, and I don't mean to keep going off topic, but the painting your nails again is coming back, and that's not why I did this. This is from Hazley. You can tell because it's all over my fingers. See, if I did it, they would look super clean, but yeah, and I'm not even going to show you my toenails. She, but anyways, yeah, girl dad, hashtag girl dad. Where was I at? Oh yeah, so I don't know exactly why, but I'm guessing it's because of all the race baiting right off the rip and what's been said. So that's probably what's getting back to those gangs that are in the prisons, and they do have cell phones so they can watch a little bit of social media. But if all it takes is one of the main guys to see something that was anti-white, or that that this was a racial thing, for them to say, okay, yeah, now he's marked. If he killed that boy just because he was white, then he's marked, because they're thinking that he made it racial, which he didn't. It had nothing to do with race. It had everything to do with Carmelo Anthony being afraid for whatever, his safety and being afraid to fight, to be in a fist fight, or maybe he set out that day to do that, or maybe he was put up to it by someone that's in a real gang and said, "Hey, we need to see you have heart, so go down there and stab one of those white boys." It could be that, we don't know. Um, you just don't know, man. You just don't know. If this was like a big city, like an inner city situation at a high school, and this was a kid that just pretty much unalived Austin Metcalf for no reason, I would have said it was a gang initiation. I would have put money on it. Um, I would have said, yeah, definitely it was a gang initiation. I was going to read this story, but I pretty much already talked about that, so I don't necessarily think I have to read it. But justice will be served. So this is the story that I really wanted to read. Austin Metcalf's accused killer needs support fighting white supremacy after murder indictment. Carmelo Anthony faces a first-degree murder charge for allegedly stabbing Austin Metcalf to death during an April track meet. We already know all that. I don't want to get into all that redundant information, but I'm really curious on why that they are reporting this. So, the spokesman for the family, Carmelo Anthony, launched into yet another racial tirade after the 18-year-old was indicted Tuesday for allegedly stabbing Frisco, Texas track star Austin Metcalf to death. See, we're just going to stop right there. I did a show on this idiot too. They need to fire this dude because this guy is going to get Carmelo killed in jail. They just are. They can't. He can't keep race baiting this situation. He's not doing this family any service, and definitely not any good service. If anything happened to Carmelo, I would sue the shit out of the action committee or the Austin whatever the the it's like a black action committee, and I get those need to exist in some instances, but having this triple X felon be his spokesperson, the same guy who beat up that young kid, a baby that he was in charge of, and gave the baby brain damage. Do you guys remember me talking about that? This is the spokesperson for Carmelo Anthony, and he's sending this young man to his grave. He really is, and I don't even think that's a stretch to be like dramatic, to have a different view on the situation. That is what he's doing, and if I was the Anthony family, I would fire him, and then I might even bring him up on civil charges of some sort. I don't know. Yeah, thank you, Robin. I think you're completely right. They're not thinking the big picture. They've never had to go through anything like this. So, hey, Tiff 420, how's it going? He needs to use some of that money to learn how to fight and bulk up. I mean, why not, right? He's about to go to prison for a very, very long time. I don't want to say life. I don't think he's going to get life. If he does get life, it'll be life with the possibility of parole. Easily. He'll easily get that. Because he's a first-time offender. He's basically underage, but they are going to try him as an adult. He will get some kind of parole. Yeah, he might be 50 when he gets out, but look, I'm almost 60, so, and I feel like I still have life ahead of me. So he can go in there and get healthy, toughen up a little bit. Hopefully he doesn't fall into drugs and gangs, and he'll have a life. There's when I got my big sentence, when they sentenced me to all those years, the the best advice I ever got was from my dad, and he kept it real simple. My dad's an old factory worker from Michigan, a General Motors factory worker, and my dad said, he's like, son, well, because I was bummed out. I was like, Dad, I was just working for Microsoft 2 years ago, and he's just like, well, son, he's like, um, there's a life on the inside. That's all he said. There's a life on the inside, son. Um, and at first I was just like, get the F out of here. Miss me with that. There's a life on the inside. But if you have to go do that a bunch of time, that's the best advice anyone can give you, or the best. If I was to give that I guess that affirmation to someone going into prison for over 10 years, I would of course elaborate on it. I wouldn't just be like, hey, there's a life on the inside, slap him on the butt on his way in, I would definitely elaborate and tell him about the things, the good things that, the glasses have full view, outlook, or whatever you want to call it, of going and doing a bunch of time. But there is a life inside there. He can be healthy. He can be educated. He can, wrestle around, play sports. There's all the things that's available to him, as long as he stays in a lower custody. Now, having that charge and the sentence he's going to be receiving, he won't be able to go into a lower custody or a medium custody for a long time. But he can work his way there, and once he's there, it's a pretty good life. It really is. I mean, as long as that's not something I would want to go back to, but if you have to be there and you're making the best of it, it's a decent life. And then, I wish I was a Christian when I was inside, because I would have had the best life in there. I wouldn't have got, involved in drugs. I wouldn't have, owed people money for drugs and had to work my ass off tattooing all the time. I would have just, went to Bible studies and played sports and, maybe got another degree or something, and whatever I wanted it to be in. And, I didn't do that. I zigged instead of zagged. I went left and not right. But I should have. But I didn't know God. I had no spirituality when I first fell, and I've told that story, so many times that I won't tell it this late at night. But of me finding spirituality with that book, Many Lives, Many Masters, in my bed, when they put me somewhere where there wasn't any books allowed, and that was the only book, and I happened to get in a fight downstairs in booking, and they put me in that cell, and that was the book, and I was frustrated and needed something more, because I knew I was looking at a bunch of time, and I was tired of fighting all these dudes, everywhere I went, because I was like I was new. I was like a fish, and it was my first time in jail and in prison, so I wasn't letting these dudes walk all over me. So I was fighting people. I only had one tattoo. I didn't have all this ink, and people tried to take advantage of me, not like in a sexual way, but just hey, you gonna eat that? Like these big lifer prison dudes and jailhouse dudes, and it was a trip. But here, let me satisfy my nicotine habit real quick. That's right, Mindy. I wish I could highlight your comment. Mindy says that so-called security guy has been to prison for shaking a baby. He knows the score in prison, so it's pretty disgusting he's throwing this kid into the wolves for money. Exactly. Yeah, isn't that a great book, Robin? Oh, yeah, I've purchased that book for so many people. Many Lives, Many Masters by Dr. Brian Weiss. Uh, if you're a Christian or not a Christian, it doesn't matter. It's not a Christian book. It's about reincarnation. But I always encourage Christians to read it too, because it's an amazing, amazing book. And if as a Christian, I know those are my guardian angels, and they call them spirit guides, master spirits, whatever. It's just an amazing book. Maybe we should do a whole show just on that book. I'll retell my story of how that was the initial seed that led me to believe in Christ, even though it has nothing to do with Jesus and Christianity. But you know what I mean? It was part of my spiritual journey. It was part of these blue fingernails. Did Ned and Coco leave? They probably they might have been serious. Like, look, I can't even watch you with them blue nails. But the it was just a part of a whole thing, and I love sharing that testimony, that part of my testimony. It's just when I look back at how it all happened, it was pretty amazing, Okay, where were we? I was reading this thing right here. Shortly after the indictment, Dominique Alexander, founder and president of the Next Generation Action Network, took to X to announce that the legal process will move forward toward trial. This case involves multiple minors and sensitive details that I cannot and will not speak about. He keeps saying that. He's such a punk, man. Oh, right on. Thanks, Ned and Coco. He keeps saying that. It's like, oh, you guys shouldn't even be covering this case because there's minors involved, and shut up, dude. He just doubles down and triples down on the most idiotic shit, man. That's why from the beginning I've refused to let this be tried in the court of public opinion, although he's out there race baiting and stirring up all the racial tension. I'm gonna have to find that video and play it tomorrow or something, or a Monday. Austin Metcalf, suspected killer, indicted on first-degree murder, charged in track knee stabbing. Alexander then spoke directly to those who he says have targeted Anthony. To the racists and bigots and those filled with hate who have targeted Carmelo, his family, and even myself, you do not intimidate us. We are not backing down. Yeah, I know. You said that before, buddy. This case is yet another example of what it means to be black in America. See, he's the only one race baiting. I have a friend who's a black creator, and he's down there interviewing in Texas. He's down there interviewing people individually, and he's black, and he's going up to white people who know about the case, like, hey, do you have a problem with me, or do you have a problem with this guy, or black people? And yeah, I mean, he's like not doing it in a confrontational way, just like, and then when they say, of course not, and they're like, see America, there is no racial tension about this case. This is all made up by by this guy Alexander. And then he always hugs the people, and then he goes on and talks to more people. And so this is all the race baiting by him. He's the only one saying it. Yeah, there might be some people on X, and it's probably his people that are talking about how this is racial, but he wants to call all of us bigots and racist because we're even talking about the case, and not even with a racial tone. But he just doesn't want people putting it out there that this dude doesn't have a chance of winning this case. It wasn't self-defense. NDGN reiterated Wednesday that he's committed to ensuring that Carmelo receives a fair trial and that this case is not tried in the court of public opinion, but declined to comment further. Anthony's lawyer, Mike Howard, said the case isn't about race. Thank you. I've seen a few interviews with his lawyer, the lawyer that he had or has still, I don't know. They filed for an indigent lawyer. The factual and legal issues involved in this case are not about race. The case involves two kids, one white, one black, so it's understandable that some people would make it about race or just discuss it in terms of race. Howard told Fox News Digital by email, to be very clear, we don't see this as a case about race. The law applies to every person regardless of their race equally. We have faith in the people of Collin County to apply the law blindly. I do too. I really do. I have a ton of faith in the citizens of that county, of Collin County. Anthony is facing first-degree murder charge for allegedly stabbing and killing Metcalf, 17, during a dispute in a track meet. Jeff Metcalf has spoken on behalf of the Metcalf family. Don't really care what he has to say. He bluntly told Fox News Digital on Wednesday when asked about Alexander's online post. Yeah, because he went there to pray with them. Do you guys remember that first press conference? Austin Metcalf's father went there to pray with the family, with Carmelo and the mom and dad, and he was kicked out. He was kicked out like he was a rabble rouser, there to create tension. But they were, Alexander just got scared, and because he couldn't look him in the eye and spewed lies, and so they kicked him out. Now it was his property, it was their property, and maybe the family felt uncomfortable too about him being there. So after Tuesday's indictment, Metcalf said he was happy that the legal process is moving forward, but that nothing will bring Austin back. That's absolutely a true statement. I am pleased that we are moving forward, he told Fox News Digital on Tuesday. With the first-degree murder indictment, it now goes into the court system. I fully believe that justice will be served for Austin Metcalf. I look forward to the forthcoming trial, but it will never bring my son back. There's the two right there. They just good-looking kids, man. Even Carmelo, man, what a waste, man. He's a good-looking kid. He's athletic. This kid was a good-looking kid. He's athletic, and it's just a waste of. Whoa, what happened? Hold on, guys. Hold on, I'm gonna fix that. I wonder how long that's been out. Hi, babe. I'll be done soon. Doom, 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 doom. Okay, how long was I out? Hopefully not for very long. Hey, Danette, it's good to see you. Just a couple of whack jobs out here in the middle of the evening. At least the microphone didn't go out. So where was I? Yeah, they were. It's just what a waste of life on both ends. Alexander has made racially charged comments about the case since stepping in as the Anthony family spokesman. See, there you go. I'm not the only one who thinks so. After Anthony's bond was reduced from $1 million to $250,000 in April, a press conference hosted by Alexander, and that's the press conference I was just talking about, and devolved into chaos when Jet Metcalf showed up. I was just talking about this. Metcalf was quietly escorted out by Dallas police, but subsequently Alexander used the conference to attack Metcalf and discuss race. What he has felled into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate and yet bigotry and yet racism, Alexander said, accusing Metcalf of being disrespectful to the dignity of his son. He actually accused Metcalf of disrespecting his own son's life by coming there, by just showing up without an invitation when he showed up there to pray. Carmelo Anthony's family rep doubles down on attacking Austin Metcalf's father. It's inappropriate. Because these racist bigots try to prevent us from standing up for our baby boy, our boy, he should be afforded the same rights that Kyle Rittenhouse had and Daniel Penny had. All the people who have claimed whatever their defense was, he should be afforded the same right, Alexander said later in the press conference. Yeah, all those comments were completely ugly and just inappropriate and not, race baiting. Like, he's race baiting himself. The instigator of the race bait. It doesn't mean that we get to reply with race comments back. We just want to report what it is and how it went down. The arrest program in April, blah, blah, and the next moment, when it's told police stand to reach on his bag and mail and took out. I don't want to read all the about the actual incident. Um, we all know what it was. I do want to play this video. Oh man, I got some good Karen Reed stuff to show tomorrow. But I'm gonna play this fool right here. This fool is crazy.
To be able to buy his way out of.
Mm-hmm. Let me make sure that this is all. You can't. Why isn't that showing? Let me just make sure that. Let me just find out why this is not showing. Please have your account. Oh, there we go.
Harm imprisonment.
Still not showing. Let me bring it up here. Sorry guys, I had to do it like this. I had it all set up with that. Like I said, I'm working out the kinks. Whoever, if you guys got here late, I'm just working out some kinks in a new with some new software that I'm trying to use, and that is supposed to go into something completely different than. Why is that not? Let me just go find it again. Boom, boom, boom. Not that. That. Talk show box. Chandler, Stinger Pop. Was it window capture? Yeah, it is window capture. I found it. There we go. Hey, yeah. Yeah, it's new stuff. It is new stuff, Danette. I mean, it's more of the same, but it's new. It's just some more investigation has happened, and we're hoping that this new information will bring the feds in to, you know what I mean? That all this stuff is going to start adding up, and it's going to bring the feds in to do an investigation on the Alberts. But I am going to do that show either tomorrow or Monday. Just depends if Mariana lets me do a show tomorrow. No, you're not my test rats. Well, kind of. I wouldn't call you a rat just because we are a prison channel, and we don't use that kind of language here. A rata, the ratas. Yeah, but yeah, hopefully tomorrow. But tomorrow is family day. I do go to church, and then for me. Now, if Mariana had something to do with, like her friends or something, then I might be able to get away with doing a show tomorrow. If she had something to do, and if I watch Hazley, then I could probably get away with doing a show tomorrow about all the things. But if not, I'll have to probably do it Monday. But we'll see. You never know. Yes, guinea pigs. Thank you, Deb. Thank you. Perfecto. Okay.
That's what we're talking about. His one chance.
I'm surprised I have all you guys here tonight.
When it comes to the Aryan Brotherhood, who was already after him, and it doesn't help how racial they are. The Carmelo.
You guys probably can't hear that, huh?
They are making this racial because we have a new headline where his team is saying they need money, they need to raise money to fight against white supremacy. Well, buddy, it sounds like you just declared war with the Aryan Brotherhood, who is, quite literally going to be in the same cell block as Carmelo Anthony when he gets to prison. You just declared war with him? Virally, publicly on the internet? Wow. Oh my gosh. Part of me, I'm starting to think that his team secretly does, maybe even his family, because they blew through all his money. No.
Guinea pigs are super hella squeaky. They are. I mean, so are rats. I mean, if we're going to be fair to vermin, I mean, yeah, so are rats. Can you guys hear that? Okay. No one said anything. So, but I do have to turn down the mic and then turn. So I'm gonna have to get with Misha on that too.
Nobody really cares. Carmelo, they're all like, yeah, we know our son's a piece of crap. He's a murderer. Do what you want with him. But we'll take some cash
Caroline.
in the meantime. Thank you. But our son, and they almost are like trying to make it as bad as they can for him. The Aryan Brotherhood is after him once he gets to prison. They already have their crosshairs on him. You make it more and more racially charged all over the internet. So now they even feel more inclined to get him, and now they are. And so what is your next step? To de-escalate? No. You publicly declare war, saying you need $1 million to help fight against white supremacy. You might as well be calling out the leader of the Aryan Brotherhood right now. You are quite literally leaving them no choice but to do something down, dirty, and devious to Carmelo Anthony as soon as he steps foot in that cell block. Wow. The decisions this family and team make every new decision they make and every new step they take just blows my mind more than I thought it could be from the previous step. It's crazy. So they blew through all his money that he could have at the very least used. I mean, if you're not going to use it on legal funds, okay, because you can pay $1 million. You're not going to get out of this. As the indictment says, he got caught with a knife and brought it. He intentionally murdered another student on school grounds at a school event while he was in a designated area, per the rules of the sporting event that he was at.
This is Jumpsuit Pablo. He's a prison creator like I am. He's sober now for the most part. I think he still drinks a little bit, but he has a channel called Jumpsuit Pablo. He's been to prison before, and he talks about this case also. And he had the same outlook I did, and then made this video. He made this video before I did. This is the second time he's made a video talking about what it's going to be like for him when he gets there. But we pretty much agree on both the things. He's been in the state system. Of course, you guys know I've been in the Fed system. But there's a lot of those Texas AB dudes in the Feds, and I've been around a lot of them.
He was not supposed to be at. So he was asked to leave that because the other team, Austin Metcalf, was just trying to follow the rules and policy of the sporting event. He asked him to leave. Please leave. You're breaking the rules. And he was stabbed and killed for it by a guy who brought a knife to school and whose father has gotten on TikTok live public forums and said, but, I knew my son was going to get into an altercation, and so I brought him to the school in preparation of that altercation. He said that. His father said that. I'm starting to think even his own team and family aren't on his side. So they blew through all the money that was raised for his legal defense. Even if you couldn't get a good legal defense, I mean, you could spend 20 grand on a legal defense, all that other money. That's what you use to save your son. If you really care about saving your son, we know, I mean, you know, he's going to prison no matter what lawyer you hire. Once he gets there, that's where you need to use the money to pay for protection. Maybe if you drop enough money.
That's a really good point. I didn't think about that. Um, the That's a really good point. Take some of that money, and he can pay like the black car, the black gangs in there for protection, and a little will go a long way. Like, they could just put $300 on a guy's commissary account once a month, you know, for life, and he'll have protection. That's pretty cheap for protection. If uh, if the gangs are out there trying to get him, if the white gangs are out there trying to get him, paying for protection would be probably the smartest thing to do. Yeah, I'm on late tonight because I wanted to try the OBS, because I've been wanting to try it for a long time. Once I learn it more and more, it'll be able to do things that I just can't do on StreamYard. StreamYard is really easy to use, but I have more. Uh, I can do way more on OBS once I learn it than StreamYard. Flexibility isn't the right word, but I can just do more. Um, and I just want to make this show better. I just feel like I've been floundering with the shows. I want to make it better, and then I want it to be more consistent. I want to do a lot more, just like stories like this, true crime. I want to just like do true crime, every day, and really nothing else. I'm not going to do any politics, as much as maybe I was at one time. I'm over politics right now. Now maybe maybe that'll change eventually. I might touch on politics here and there if it overlaps into a trial, or some court stuff, or whatever. If it's part of the true crime story, but if it's not, I'm not going to do politics anymore. I fight myself on it a little bit, but if I do, I'm just going to create a whole different channel to do that. So let's get back to this fool.
I mean, money rules all. Money runs the world at the end of the day. No matter how pissed or fired up or how racially charged somebody is, or how, he pretended to be a part of the insane vice lords, and so they're obligated to get him. All that with the right price. Everything's got a price. And when you raise $600,000, I guarantee you can probably meet that price. I don't think anyone in prison who's struggling and has nobody is above what can be done with that amount of money, okay? But you blew through it all. You have taken away your son's one chance at buying his way out of extreme danger. Now you want another $1 million. You've hired a public defender who is not going to care or put any time and effort, really, except the bare minimum.
And that's the crazy thing, too, is that they're asking for $1 million more. That's not, 150,000 would be the most they would need. Another $1 million. They've lost their minds. They've lost their minds for sure.
Just kind of winging it.
Into representing your son in this trial that your team has announced y'all cannot wait to get to. We're not taking any plea deals. We want to get to this trial. You are setting your son up to be railroaded. Not really railroaded, because that's a term you use when you get something way more than you deserve. Carmelo Anthony deserves the max. He deserves something very hefty. So really, all it is, I guess what I mean to say, you've taken away. I mean, I'm just thinking of the perspective of Carmelo's side should want to do things to help him in any way they can. They're not. They are doing the opposite. They are making things so bad for him and so hard for him to get any kind of break at all, which honestly, good. But I just don't understand the thinking and the why. I mean, this has to just be about money for them at this point, and screw my son. I don't care. Hey, cold world. But either way, his son has lost all the money that he could use to save himself from these gangs who already want him badly for two very different reasons. And if the one gang, the Aryans, if they didn't want him bad enough, now you've declared war on us? You're fighting against us? Okay, we'll show you who's going to win that once Carmelo comes to our world in prison. And none of these other gangs who are his race are going to save him because he's already killed all ties that could possibly be there by committing one of the ultimate sins you can do in prison in the gang culture, which is pretending to be a part of a gang that you are not a part of. That ruins everything with any gang possibly wanting to take you in, unless, I mean, every rule can be bent and broken for the right price. He can't meet that price anymore. It's been blown through for cars and houses. So now what is he going to do? They're asking for another $1 million. Let's just pretend they get that $1 million or even a fraction of it. You think, okay, now this money, we'll use it to save you. Yeah, right. This guy's out for at least another year. They're going to blow through that, probably ask for another $1 million. This is a big money grab, and none of it's going to go to help Carmelo Anthony. Good, in my opinion, but just saying. All leading to the point, Carmelo Anthony is screwed when he gets to prison. His one saving grace has been taken away by his own family. Now, I do see it has come out. There is an update that he is due in court in July. In July. So absolutely, I will be watching, eyes peeled, to see how that goes. Expect an update video, major update video on that day. But hey, anytime until then, any updates we continue to get that I have something to weigh in on about it, you can expect a video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching.
Same.
Quick little update for you, and I'll see you next time.
So yeah, that's Jumpsuit Pablo. You guys can go check him out. If I can remember, I'll leave a link in the description. That's pretty much it, guys. That's all I wanted to kind of cover tonight. Just wanted to see how this works. My camera keeps going out, and I have to reset the camera app, but I'm sure I can work out that kink and figure out why it's doing that. Thank you so much for coming out this late. I really appreciate you guys. I really love you guys, and I just want to create the best show possible. And so I'm gonna try using this new software. It's free software. Awakened uses it, and so she's gonna give me a couple tips and tricks to make things work the way I want it to work. The truth of the matter is, I really can't afford StreamYard anymore, and it's only $40 a month. But I just, right now, the way things are, I just can't afford it. And this is free, so you can't beat free. I should have use this. I've been wanting to use this for a really long time, but I can't. I can't justify paying $40 a month if And you guys already know. That's why I have the GoFundMe and things like that, to help while my thumb's healing, and until I can go back to work, which is hopefully going to be not this week, but after the 4th. I seen the doctor yesterday, and they said I could probably go back to work after the holiday. So that's good. I've tried other things. I've sold some things. Mariana's been door dashing. and you guys have helped tremendously, with giving to the GoFundMe, and I really appreciate that. I hate even mentioning it and having to do that in the first place. But I assure you, this will be the one and only time that I ever have to do it. If anything ever happens to where I have to do something like that again, I will do something. I will figure it out. But everything just happens so fast. And but next time I will have a plan B ready, for emergencies like this. But anyways, I will. I love you guys. You guys all have a wonderful evening. Thanks for coming out and hanging out with me tonight. I'm gonna do the intro as an outro. So I have something to play the end screen on. But thanks again, guys. I'm so glad you were here and that a few of you were awake tonight. It was pretty awesome. Yeah, it seemed to work okay. Once I can get the effects to come out and do the cool things, it's even going to be even cooler. Because there's a lot you can do. Like if someone subscribes, it's going to go bling. So and so is a new subscriber, and I can do subscriber goals. I can do donation goals, and it can have like a meter, and I can do it just does a lot. There's just a lot that you can do with it. And yeah, and I can adjust the sizes of the screens easier, and the transitions. I can have transition screens come in and out. I didn't add any of those tonight because I just wanted to make sure that I could go from scene to scene and it work out okay. But anyways, guys, good night. God bless, and be kind to someone, and be kind to yourself, because you'll see how you feel. And wake up tomorrow morning, since it's so late. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, think about 2 or 3 things that you're grateful for. I know in this time of the season I'm in right now, I have to do that, or else I'll just be a big giant mess. All right, guys, you guys have a wonderful evening, and I will see you possibly tomorrow, but for sure on Monday. Have a good night.
Welcome to
I'll start to respond.
Good morning to the chaos we ride.
So when I get texts, my own ideas,